This is the moment that almost shattered the Dupree dynasty forever. And just when you thought the war was over, a new, devastating battle is about to erupt and burn everything to the ground. We have to talk about the sheer, unadulterated terror that just unfolded at Garland Memorial Hospital. Anita Dupree, the undisputed matriarch, the queen of Fairmont Crest, is finally taking the ultimate, final step in her brutal, agonizing breast cancer journey. This is at the lumpectomy surgery, the procedure that is supposed to close this dark, traumatic chapter once and for all. But as we all know, in the world of Beyond the Gates, nothing is ever that simple, and peace is just an illusion before the next explosion. The tension in that hospital waiting room is so thick, you could cut it with a chainsaw. Every tick of the clock echoes like a bomb waiting to detonate, and the anxiety is absolutely paralyzing. This is the Dupree family versus the unknown terror. Danny, Nicole, and Vernon are sitting in that sterile, suffocating waiting room, and you can literally see the oxygen being sucked out of their lungs. They are choking on their own fear. They have survived a literal tornado. They have survived scandals. They have survived betrayals. But this invisible, savage disease, this is the enemy. They cannot fight with money, influence, or power. They are completely powerless, and it is absolutely gut-wrenching to watch. Danny and Nicole are holding their breath, their eyes glued to those double doors, waiting for the verdict that will either give them their mother back or plunge them into an eternal nightmare. Will the Dupree family survive this brutal psychological warfare? And then there is Vernon. This is Vernon Dupree versus his own crumbling sanity. Vernon has always been the rock, the stoic patriarch, the man who holds the world on his shoulders without breaking a single sweat. But right now, he's a man standing on the edge of a terrifying abyss. For the first time in his entire life, we are seeing the cracks in his armor. The sheer prospect of losing his soulmate, the woman who built this massive empire alongside him, is tearing him apart from the inside out. If Anita falls, the entire Dupree legacy falls with her. How can a king rule his kingdom when his queen is taken by a savage, merciless disease? He is suffocating in his own terror, and the agony on his face is absolutely devastating to witness. You can feel his heart breaking in real time. Suddenly, the doors swing open. Dr. Bauer steps out, and let me tell you, my heart completely stopped beating. Dr. Bauer walks out with a face so stone cold, so incredibly serious, that the entire Dupree family practically collapses on the spot. The energy in the room instantly shifts from anxious hope to pure, unadulterated dread. You can see the exact moment the light leaves Vernon's eyes. It is brutal. It is savage. It is the kind of cinematic tension that leaves you screaming at your television screen. What is he going to say? Why does he look like he is about to deliver a death sentence? I am not going to lie to you guys. In that split second, my mind went to the darkest possible place. I was absolutely convinced that Dr. Bauer was about to drop the ultimate devastating bombshell. I thought he was going to announce that there were massive hidden complications. I thought he was going to reveal that Anita's cancer had aggressively spread and that she had been silently, secretly hiding the agonizing truth from her family. Why? To protect them, to protect Martin's crucial congressional election. Can you imagine the absolute betrayal and heartbreak of that scenario? Anita, sacrificing her own life, suffering in silence, just to ensure her grandson's political victory. It would have been the most tragic, explosive sacrifice in the history of Fairmont Crest. I could already see the fallout playing out in my head. I pictured Vernon dropping to his knees, completely shattered, realizing that his wife lied to him to protect the family legacy. I pictured Martin drowning in suffocating guilt, realizing his political career was built on his grandmother's secret death sentence. The sheer chaos, the absolute destruction of the Dupree family's mental health, it would have been a war zone of emotions, a savage tearing apart of everything they hold dear. I was holding my breath, bracing for the absolute worst, preparing to watch the Dupree dynasty crumble into dust right before our very eyes. The stakes have never been higher. But wait, hold everything. Just as we are all preparing for our hearts to be ripped out of our chests, the truth is revealed. It was a fake out. A massive, heart-stopping, adrenaline-pumping fake out. Dr. Bauer's serious face was just his professional demeanor. The results are in, and the news is nothing short of miraculous. Anita's cleared. The lumpectomy was a massive success. She is going to completely return to her healthy, normal life. The storm has passed. The sheer overwhelming wave of relief that washes over Vernon, Danny, and Nicole is so palpable it transcends the screen. You can finally breathe. The tears of joy, the desperate hugs, the realization that they have actually won this brutal war against cancer. It is a beautiful, triumphant moment of pure victory. But do not get comfortable, my friends. Do not dare to relax, because this is beyond the gates, and happiness is just a temporary illusion. The universe demands balance. And just as the dark clouds part for Anita Dupree, a massive, catastrophic hurricane is brewing right on the horizon. The Dupree family is about to be violently ripped from their celebration and thrown straight back into the trenches. A new war is coming, and this time, the enemy is not an external disease. The enemy is a secret, a toxic, explosive, devastating secret that has been festering inside their own bloodline. This is Naomi Hawthorne versus her own toxic secret. While her grandmother was fighting for her life, while her entire family was holding hands and praying for a miracle, Naomi has been harboring a dark, destructive truth. We all know she tested positive for the BRCA gene. We all know she is carrying the exact same genetic curse that just terrorized Anita. But instead of leaning on her family, instead of being honest with her husband, Jacob, Naomi has been lying through her teeth for months. She has been smiling, nodding, and hiding a ticking time bomb inside her own DNA. This is absolute betrayal. This is a savage deception that is going to blow up in her face and destroy everything in its path. How could she do this? How could she sit there and watch her mother, Danny, cry over Anita, knowing damn well she is carrying the same terrifying gene? The psychological warfare Naomi is waging on herself is brutal, but the collateral damage is going to be catastrophic. The truth is clawing its way to the surface, and when it finally breaks free, it is going to shatter her world. Naomi is about to confess. She is going to drop this nuclear bomb on Danny and Jacob, and the fallout is going to be absolutely radioactive. Everything has just changed, and there is no going back from this. Let us talk about Jacob Hawthorne for a second. This is Jacob Hawthorne versus the ultimate betrayal. Jacob is already spiraling. He is already drowning in severe PTSD and survivor's guilt over Derek Baldwin taking a bullet for him. He is on a relentless, dangerous, off-the-books mission to take down the Impaler, risking his life every single day. He is barely holding his sanity together. And now he is going to find out that his own wife, the woman who is supposed to be his safe haven, has been lying to him for months about a life-altering medical condition. This is going to break him. This is going to push Jacob right over the edge into pure, unadulterated chaos. Will their marriage survive this savage blow? I highly doubt it. And what about Danny Dupree? This is Donnie Dupree versus a mother's worst nightmare. Danny just spent weeks agonizing over her mother's potential death, dealing with her own messy, toxic elevator hookup with Bill Hamilton, and trying to keep her life together. Now, she is going to be hit with the horrifying reality that her own daughter is facing the exact same genetic nightmare. The generational trauma is real, folks. Danny is going to be completely stunned, absolutely paralyzed by the sheer magnitude of Naomi's confession. The Dupree women just cannot catch a break. It is a relentless, savage cycle of fear and survival, and Danny is about to be pushed to her absolute breaking point. But if there is one thing we know about the Dupree family, it is that they go to war for their own. The entire dynamic is about to shift. The spotlight is moving from Anita's miraculous recovery straight onto Naomi's terrifying battle. The family is going to have to rally around her, but the road ahead is paved with broken trust and shattered expectations. Naomi needs their support, but she also needs to face the brutal consequences of her deception. She has manipulated their reality, and now she has to pay the emotional price. This is going to be a masterclass in family drama, guilt, and the desperate fight for survival. What does this mean for the future of Fairmont Crest? Will Naomi preemptively opt for radical, life-altering surgeries to prevent the cancer? How will this impact her future with Jacob? And let us not forget, Vernon and Anita are going to find out too. Just when they thought they could ride off into the sunset of good health, they are going to be slammed with the reality that their granddaughter is in the crosshairs of the exact same beast. The emotional whiplash is going to be absolutely insane. Every single relationship in this family is about to be tested in the fires of this explosive revelation. This is war, my friends. The battle lines are being redrawn, and the emotional casualties are going to be massive. You cannot look away for a single second because Fairmont Crest is about to ignite. Do not miss what happens next. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and sound off in the comments below. Do you think Jacob will forgive Naomi for this brutal betrayal? Can the Dupree family survive another medical nightmare? Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you in the next explosive update.